So I'm driving over to a neighbor's house and it's winter in Michigan. Suddenly I'm sliding across the dirt road ice sheet and I'm thinking, this cannot be good. So I look at my maps and see that there's no other way out and I must go back the way I came. And I'm driving slowly across this ice, hoping that I don't hit a mailbox or a tree. I'm going like medium speed and I start sliding backwards. I can't even make it over this little edge of, I don't know, it wasn't even a hill. So I'm now sliding backwards at like 3 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour. I'm starting to turn sideways. So I'm like sliding, skidding sideways across this road. Finally, I make it to a point where I can get into someone's driveway that was pretty much plowed. And I'm pausing there thinking, what am I going to do? I see an SUV drive by across that same patch. And what do you know? Doesn't make it either. And in a way, I'm glad because I'm hoping that person will back up and talk to me and help me. And he does. I mean, too bad for him because he was stuck too. So I'm like, do you deal with this all the time? Do you live here? What do we do? And he's like, yep, all the time. There's only one other way out of here. And it's over there at that house. You need to gun it up the hill of their driveway and turn left in between their house and the barn that you see up at the top of the driveway. And then you'll be able to turn right into a whole other subdivision. And I'm thinking, you want me to gun it up this person's driveway and possibly hit the barn? And he's like, yes, you're going to. That's the way you're going to get out. So I watch him attempt it. He doesn't make it. How am I supposed to make it? Sure enough, I try, and he's like, make sure you put it into third gear as soon as you can because I have a manual. And he's like, you obviously know how to drive then, right? And I was like, well, not like this. Make sure you stay on the right side and don't fall in the pit on the left so that, on the right side you can gain a little snow traction. So I'm basically driving, giving this neighbor that, isn't even standing out there a lawn job. So I back up as far as I can and it's icy all around me. I can't really get that far back and I'm going to have to go straight, then turn right at an angle to get up this driveway and then gun it. So here I go. I do it and this guy's cheering me on and I do it just right. Somehow I make it up there and luckily at the top, it wasn't icy and I was able to stop, wave to the guy and scream thank you and just give him like a peace sign. So dorky. And then I just pulled off and drove away and it was kind of thrilling. But what it gave me was this feeling that I'm always going to be supported. Even when I don't know how that's going to happen, I'm always going to be supported. And if I'm not in that moment by a person, supported by a person, there's going to be something else to support me. I've had a bunch of incidences in a car where I felt like something was helping me. This truck in front of me once had a propane tank in the back. It didn't look safe. It looked like it was going to fall out. And sure enough, it fell out right in the road and it bounced about 4 or 5 feet away from my car as I was driving towards it. Somehow it kept bouncing and rolling about 1 foot away from the left side of my car and just went past me. I just feel like it could have bounced and slammed into my windshield, but it didn't. And I feel like there was someone that I could not see supporting me. It just felt that way. So this situation, while I felt like it was an inconvenience at first and a moment of like, what am I gonna do? I wasn't even left with very much time before this man came and helped me. He lived there, so I think he just went back home, or maybe he tried again, but I was very lucky to get out and to realize that there was this other opening because this man came to my rescue. Honestly, the whole experience made me really happy in the end, and it was an adventure. But now I want to get to the topic of the day, which is following your excitement, following that next breadcrumb of what feels inspiring to you, even if it doesn't seem to make sense. Do you ever have this feeling where I know I should be doing X, Y, and Z, but I really want to do A, B, and C, or whatever it is. Like, I know I should be working or doing this project or cleaning my room or cleaning the kitchen, but I really want to paint right now, or I really want to call a friend, or I really want to go outside and take a walk. I really want to look up information about dragonflies, anything, whatever that inspiration is. Or is there something you've been having a little nudge for, a little bit of excitement, a little bit of enthusiasm? If you need a nudge, here it is. Your dreams, these whispers, are not random. They're not nothing. They're not just illogical thoughts that distract you. They are the roadmap, the unfolding of you. So recently, I just got this excitement for painting again. I used to be an artist more so than now. I used to paint a lot. I was an art teacher as my first career, as some of you know. I went to art school. I had all these paint supplies. And then at some point when I left Chicago, I got rid of a bunch of them. When I went to travel over in Thailand and across the world, I didn't want to store these things at like my family's house, so I got rid of a bunch of stuff. But now, here I am, years later, wanting to paint. I don't have any supplies, barely. Just barely. My sister's an artist. I have like 3 paintbrushes. So for a moment, I talked myself out of it. I was like, no, you don't have much space where you're living right now. You don't need to buy a bunch of canvases. You don't need to get paint again. You don't need to do the whole works. Then I was like, what are you doing? You are talking yourself out of this. You're talking yourself out of an inspiration that would lead you to feeling joy and happiness. But at the same time, I didn't know that it would. I wondered if this inspiration would stick because I do have a lot of inspirations and excitements. I think it's not quite a good evaluation of everything, but my running story, which I'm now hearing is a story, is that I tend to have fleeting inspirations and I want something and then I want something else and then I discard that thing. I have wasted my time, energy, or money starting that process, but this is not entirely true. But that's what stops me. And do you talk yourself out of some of your inspirations? Do you use logic like, oh, that's going to cost me money and what if I don't really want to keep going? It's like putting pressure on this inspiration to produce something, right? Or to be long lasting. What if your inspirations aren't long lasting, but they give you exactly what you need for that next step, or it leads you to some next step that you can't foresee right now, like meeting somebody? Maybe because I'm going to be painting, I decide to go pick up some free canvases, the Facebook community or something. Maybe I meet someone really cool. That didn't happen to me, but I'm just offering that as a possibility. But do you use some sort of rationality, whether that's connected with time, money, or your energy, to constrain you, to limit you, to tell you that this wouldn't be worth it and that you should just not bother? Or do you feel like you fear not being able to do the thing that you wish you could do, or the thing that you get inspired to do, or that whether you're not capable or that you have to be really good at it? And so if you're not good at it or you're not able to do it, then why bother even start? All of these are fears and limitations connected with that lovely web of fears and that story we create in our head about what things need to be, the attachment we have to what things need to be in order to be worth it. But the thing that I've found is that when I have followed those inspirations, they've led me to something that was so worthy, was so maybe purposeful, or gave me something really powerful that I could not know was going to come when I first started it. One year I was building like a camper in my hatchback. I had a Honda Fit. I could fit in the back. I wanted to make a cozy bed so that I could go rustic camping with ease. And I just wanted to go to, I don't know, go camping a lot. I'm making this thing, these boards with hinges so I can fold it open and make the bed lay flat across this platform. I'm using saws. I'm using all sorts of things like drills and sanding, sandpaper, etc. And my mom comes over. She sees me working on this like hardcore. I am sweating. I'm working on this and just putting all my energy into it. And she's like, what do you plan to do? Do you have plans to go camping? Do you have a trip planned? Suddenly, it made me realize that I didn't have any logic to this forward momentum and that I was just doing it because it felt right. And at that time, I claimed it. I was like, I don't know. Nope. I don't have any plans, but I feel like I want to. Maybe not a lot, but I want to go camping and I'll figure it out. But right now I know I just need to do this. And I ended up through a series of synchronicities and things landing in beautiful ways that I'm not going to talk about today, but I do mention on one of my podcasts a long time ago. I will link that in the show notes, this episode where I talk about learning about my past life as an Ojibwe girl. It links to this experience where I just knew I needed to create this in my car. I went to Hocking Hills with no reservations for a campsite, busy season. And somehow I landed this one campsite after a lot of people guided me to some place that might have an opening. I walk out into, I think it was Ash Cave. There was this trail right off the campsite and it led me to this cave, which was exactly where I feel I lived as an Ojibwe. And I feel like I downloaded my past life right from that space. That combined with feeling fear for being alone in the dark in my car at this campsite, where it brought up those fears that related to that experience in that life. And I say that life very casually because some people believe we have parallel lives and it's all this reality. So yeah, I kind of believe that too. Okay, so in another reality, I experienced this kind of terror because I was attacked when I was an Ojibwe. Yeah, I'll pull up the episode that tells all about it, but it was so valuable to me to have that experience where I landed in the right place and right time to receive this download of information about my own experience, or what felt like my own experience, something that felt really important to me and changed me. And then after that, I didn't go camping again. I didn't even use that whole setup again, which some people could say is a waste, but you know what? It was worth it. It was worth it to get what I got in that experience and to know and to receive that piece of myself. That time of me just making this whole setup without even thinking about it, I feel like that was me and my flow. And there was a moment I forgot about that when I had this painting inspiration. But then I just decided to let go of these logical restraints, logical stall outs, like reasons to stall out. And I just decided to go with it. And I've received so many different canvases from other people that they just painted over once and they don't need the stretchers. And now I'm restretching new canvas on them. And actually that feels so good because I get to handle the canvas in a way, create that canvas in a way that I feel more connected with it than just buying one, which is what I would do in art school. So I'm setting myself up to paint again, and who knows what will happen, but I do feel like I just need to move color and sort of watery colors on canvas and see what happens. If any of this connects with you, what inspirations do you have that you've been shutting down? Or what are the inspirations that you have been listening to and really letting yourself feel in that flow where you're not putting constraints on yourself because of some sort of logical, rational story you have that actually makes you not do what your inner compass is guiding you, giving you life energy about, offering up for you to follow? What energy does the part of you that stops you run off of? For me, a lot of times it's about time or money and energy and it being a waste. But when I really look at these stories that I'm telling you now and trust in my inner guidance of inspiration, I know that it will always lead me in the right place. That guidance is your compass. That's your inner guide showing you the way with this little inspiration here or that excitement there. And it's a breadcrumb to lead you to the next place or to lead you to something that's going to be good for you. When I think about guides or spirits, the unseen, or at least what we cannot see, what I cannot see in this moment, who's supporting me, I feel like I have a whole team of people supporting me and just creating yummy experiences for me, ushering me in certain ways. I feel like they plant or send us energy for certain inspirations because ultimately they're nudging us in a direction or in certain ways so we can receive, experience, and adventure in exactly what we want. They're supporting us. So these little whispers, feelings that, ooh, that could be so exciting. That is your source energy or the energy of others supporting you to the next yummy thing. What if life could be a series of yummy moments that lead you to more and more of yourself and more of what you desire and more of what's here for you to receive? There's a moment-to-moment impulse in you that if you surrender to that, I believe it assures that you are in your flow and in the space where you're completely in line, aligned with all that is truly for you to experience and receive. And if you live in that space without fears, without putting your story on it or being so attached to some outcome of it, or being so attached that this needs to produce something or create the next thing for you, if you just let it flow from thing to thing, you will enjoy that ride. And that ride is the entire experience of us being here. On that ride, everything you need is there. Everything you desire is there. If you hang on to the things that tell you not to do this or create reasons to not take a step towards or with those inspirations, you might be going against the flow of yourself. When you're following your excitement in the moment from that space of alignment of who you are, like a deeper sense that this is aligned for you, you are in that space of aliveness and you fuel your body with life force and energy. That's your signal, the signal of, ooh, that could be exciting. If you follow that, look into that feeling, it might open up to more peace and more yummy feelings. So see what happens if you try it. I feel like the universe is constantly recalibrating around our energies. It's immediate. So there's this rematriculation every moment that your awareness expands or that you let go of a fear and your energy opens up. You're transmitting a message, a signal, an energy. That's frequency. So it's a resonance that you send out. When the world around you, the external world, rearranges around your energy, it's constantly doing so. If you're doing that work internally, then sometimes it can feel like this is the next inspiration. Wait, refresh. Wait, now it's this. So I do get that it can be kind of confusing or what does stick and land. But if you hit the refresh button like you're hitting a refresh on the browser or reboot each moment that you can, and I mean frequently, like every moment, every minute, every 5 minutes at least, or an hour, every day. If you're hitting that refresh button and you're feeling that excitement still, even if fears are there, if that excitement is there, that says something. That is trying to guide you towards something. And when you follow those inspirations, you inherently build trust with your inner communication system. You're telling yourself, I'm going with that. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to take your hand. I'm going to follow that. I'm going to take that little nudge, that nugget of information, and do something with it. And then I'll be listening for the next step. And when you do that, your body, your energy, your inner being is probably relieved, but it begins to be stronger. The messages will be clearer, and you'll be able to translate those messages more clearly. And if it is something like, yesterday this was the inspiration, you may not have had fully time to execute it, but it's still here today, then you know. then you know it's worthy of today's energy. And maybe tomorrow it changes. It's another moment. It's okay to completely let go of what you started. Go with what is coming to you next. This channeler Bashar, well, it's Daryl Anka and he channels Bashar. He says that whatever you feel excitement for, that's what you do today, and anything else doesn't need to happen. It just falls off the plate. It's not actually important. And I think our mind, our ego says, oh no, these things are so important. I have to do X, Y, and Z for my work. I have to make money. I have to clean my house. I have to do all this to look good. Whatever it is, it's probably, if you really cut it down to spirit level, it's probably not actually that important, or it doesn't actually work that way. The money piece, I think that's a big one for a lot of people, but I really sincerely, genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that if you are in your aligned energy and you are following those pieces of excitement, everything you need is going to be provided. And it's going to be in a variety of ways. It might not come in the form of paper money. It might come in people giving you gifts. I've only had to spend a little bit of money on my painting supplies, and I received a lot already. I received about 25 free canvases. It's all about what's making you happy and feeling joyful for you. We're not here to work and grind and do things that are not fun or interesting for us. That message from the inside of what would be interesting for you, what's exciting, what brings you enthusiasm, that's your inner code for what would make you fulfilled and you put you in alignment. And when you're in that alignment, the abundance completely follows it. Not even follows it, it's right there. It can come in gifts. It can come in people supporting you, like that man just coming out of nowhere and telling me which way to go. It can come in support from people. It can come in connections, synchronicities, things that magically happen, things that are miracles. And when you're in the alignment of your flow of the energy that is connected with these magical or yummy inspirations, you're also putting yourself in that line of light where abundance is a given. This energy is not running on the same frequency as the logic of, I need to work to make money to pay my bills. I need to do X, Y, and Z because this is what we need to do here in this life. The way we think things work in the professional world, let's say, or if I need a loan, I need to do X, Y, and Z. In the line of light energy, that is the flow of your aligned energy, it's playful, it's whimsical, it's sensual, it's juicy, it's vital. It's the energy of source. It's the energy of light. And that comes with miracles. That comes with synchronicity. That comes with support. It comes with connections. It comes with abundant resource that's connected with all beings that you cannot even see and some that you can see. The cost of not following myself is way worse than following myself and just feeling like I'm done with that inspiration and now the next one. But I do find that sometimes if I ignore an inspiration, it does come back around again. But if I ignore it for too long, it might just be kind of muted in me, or we can just become good at quieting and muting and dampening our inner voice sometimes. If you shut down inspiration, that is dis-ease. That is what creates a lack of harmony in our physical body, in our life energy. It shuts us down, the flow gets blocked, we become sick. Dis-ease. Let's go with the ease of what is truly you now. It's time for your creativity. It's time for your specific, unique transmission, your experience, your version of beauty, your version of amusement, of play, of fun, not as a means to produce or exploit yourself, create money necessarily, even though that might be part of it, that's not the intention, that it's for the sake of you and for the sake of that pure enjoyment and nourishment of play in yourself, of that enthusiasm that came to your doorstep, that came to your heart. So I'm constantly asking myself, like I said, daily, it changes daily, it changes maybe moment to moment. And that's when I knew I had to sell my house, for example. I felt into something and suddenly it seemed like my inner voice was saying, it's time to go, it's time to leave. And it felt so strong that I couldn't ignore it. So see what's right for today. It's not a logical process. It's not, let me think about it and make a to-do list. It's sensing in and following. It's sensing into what would feel yummy, what would feel exciting for me now. And I don't mean a cheap thrill. I mean, what feels like what my spirit wants to do? Where does my soul guide me now? It's an evolving alignment. And let go of the limitations of time, structure, the way things work, quote unquote, the earth plane maybe, or the three-dimensional. Go deeper into that sense of timelessness, eternal nature, the ever-changing moment. You are completely vast, and this is just one blip of experience. What is this moment, present and alive, guiding you to see, do, or be? Your energy takes its own form. The power of your quantum self is coming through this form right in this moment. You are a being of this entirety. You're a force of source, and you're constantly evolving moment to moment. Right now. And that is the space to move from. So what if you followed it? A couple of episodes, we talked about the unknown and the unknown getting a bad rap and how the unknown is so magical and alive. What if you let yourself not know where this inspiration will take you? What if you let yourself not need to have it take you anywhere, but to be just for this pure moment of joy and yumminess and beauty? And have no expectation for where it will take you. For the pure, pure joy of it, follow it and surrender to yourself. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for joining me. I want to mention a couple of podcast episodes that I touched in on in this episode. One is about that story when I was Ojibwe. It is episode 84. So you can find that at candicewu.com/EP84. It's called The Deep Mystery of Life and Elbow Wisdom, Embracing What Logic Cannot Explain. And I tell all about that story there. So the episode about the unknown gets a bad rap, and return to magic. That's episode 198. So candicewu.com/EP198. Wow, there are so many podcast episodes that I have on the Embody podcast. There's a database, candicewu.com/podcast, and you can just search a word and you'll find a bunch of episodes connected with that. And when I searched a word, a lot of really cool things came up. We have celebrated 200 podcast episodes, and it's really thanks to you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sharing the episodes. Thank you for offering ideas or sharing your stories that connect with the stories that I tell or the topics that I talk about. So thank you. I have a few special announcements. I have a couple of Gong baths coming up. I love Gong sound healing. It feels like it rearranges my body from the inside out, and then that I also connect in with a more expanded version of myself, and that becomes a new baseline. I love the vibrations. I love the sounds. It's just so beautiful how those vibrations truly ripple through our bodies. So this year, I'm going to offer some Gong baths, some in person and some virtual. So no matter where you are in the world, you can connect in. The virtual one is going to be held through Bloom Yoga Studio, one of my favorite studios in Chicago. I used to teach there in person, and now I'm going to do a virtual Gong bath, a reset, renew, rejuvenate Gong bath on March 1st, Sunday at 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Central Time, USA. Sign up for it at candicewu.com/bloom. But I'll put the link here below and also be posting that on my social media and sending it out in my newsletter. The other one is going to be Palentine's Day. It's going to be February 13th, 2026. All this is in 2026 for anyone listening in the future. February 13th, 2026, 7 p.m. at Bodhi Yoga in Farmington Hills, Michigan. That's in person. It's called Sips and Sounds, a Palentine's Day event, which means bring all your friends, bring your buddies, bring your loved ones, bring your family, bring your lover. It's for everybody. Your experience is going to include an hour of a Gong bath by me and also 2 yummy, cozy, decaffeinated warm drinks from Ground Control Roasters in Farmington Hills. It's one of my favorite cafes in Farmington Hills, owned by 2 of my friends, Liz and James, my CrossFit coaches actually. So it's going to be a really yummy evening. So I hope you can join us for that. You can sign up for this at CandiceWoo.com/pals. It's so great that you're here. Thank you so much for joining me on the Embody Podcast. See you next time.